A big move indeed today by the Supreme Court amid the Tirupati Prasadam controversy. The top court is now directed for a fresh, new SIT panel who will now be probing into allegations of adulterated ghee being used to make those laddus. In fact, we hear the YSRCP opposition hailing this verdict, saying that this is nothing but a snub to the Naidu government, to Chandrababu Naidu in Andhra Pradesh, claiming this is vindication for whatever he said, calling it absolutely false allegations against him and his party members. We're going to take you through exactly what the Supreme Court has said in a fresh order to carry out a fresh investigation into this controversy, asking for politics to be kept aside on this. Listen in.
Controversy around Tirupati Prasadam refuses to die down. And amid this massive row, a big move by the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court on Friday ordered a new special investigation team to probe the allegations of adulterated ghee used in laddus distributed at the Tirupati temple during Jagan Mohan Reddy's rule. A judge bench of Justice B.R. Gavai and Justice K.V. Vishwanathan said the court cannot be used as a political battleground. The court asserted that it does not want the matter to be made into a political drama. The new SIT will have 2 CBI officials, 2 Andhra Pradesh police officers and 1 senior officer of the Food Safety and Standards Authority of India.
5 मेंबर्स की एक जो है एसआईटी इंडिपेंडेंट एसआईटी जो है कोर्ट ने कॉन्स्टिट्यूट की है, जो बाकी आगे की जो है कार्रवाई को जो है और जांच को देखेगी। और इसको इस कमेटी को बनाने के बाद जो है सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने जो है पिटीशन को डिस्पोज ऑफ कर दिया है।
The court has said that the allegations that have been made have the potential of hurting the sentiments of people worldwide. Therefore, an independent SIT is being formed to assuage the feelings of the devotees. The top court has clarified that it hasn't gone into the allegations or the counter-allegations, remarking that it won't permit courts to be used as a political battleground.
The ruling Telugu Desam party welcomed the Supreme Court order.
हम खुले दिल से माननीय सुप्रीम कोर्ट के ऑर्डर का स्वागत करते हैं, क्योंकि जिस प्रकार से सबने देखा है कि लड्डू में मिलावट की वजह से कितने हिंदू आस्था का चोट पहुंची, हिंदू आस्था को किस तरीके से क्षतिग्रस्त किया गया, हम भी चाहते हैं कि इसकी निष्पक्ष जांच कराई जाए।
The YSRCP claimed the court order vindicated its stand.
Supreme Court categorically reprimanded Chandrababu Naidu not to bring God into politics. You just cannot stoop down to this extent where you go ahead, continue to lie for political ends.
Amid the Prasadam showdown, a battle between Andhra Deputy Chief Minister Pawan Kalyan and Tamil Nadu Deputy CM Udayanidhi Stalin erupted over Sanatan Dharma. Pawan Kalyan slammed his Tamil Nadu's counterpart Yero's statement calling for eradication of Sanatan Dharma, which Udayanidhi Stalin later described as caste hierarchy.
If anyone tries to wipe out Sanatana Dharma, let me tell you, from the feet of Lord Balaji, you will be wiped out.
Sir, Pawan Kalyan said Sanatana Dharma cannot be wiped out. Those who said it will be wiped out.
Okay, let's wait and see.
Pawan Kalyan also came down heavily on Rahul Gandhi for his Nach Gana remarks on Ayodhya Ram Mandir Pran Pratishta ceremony.
आपने राम मंदिर खोला, सबसे पहले आपने राष्ट्रपति से कहा कि भैया आप आदिवासी हो, आप तो अंदर आ ही नहीं सकती, अलाउ नहीं है आपको। उसके बाद अमिताभ बच्चन को बुला लिया, अदानी को बुला लिया, अंबानी को बुला लिया, किसी एक मजदूर को नहीं आने दिया। नाच गाना चल रहा है, डांस चल रहा है, पूरा हिंदुस्तान डांस कर रहा है।
Sri Rahul Gandhi says Ayodhya ceremony, when he compares to it as a Nachigahan Sabha, none of the Sanatani Hindus should not get hurt. We have to be happy about it. And you want the votes of all the Sanatani Hindus to get into the power, to be a political leader, to be in the opposition.
Since the Tirupati Laddus row, Kalyan has repeatedly called for a pan-India committee to protect Sanatan Dharma. With Apurva Jayachandran and Shrishti Ojha, Bureau Report, India Today.
All right, there you have it. Well, you have the Supreme Court now dismantling the previous SIT that was set up by the Andhra Pradesh government, now calling for a fresh SIT to come together and probe this matter in depth. And who is going to be part of this new SIT team? There's going to be 2 CBI officials largely overseeing the SIT's investigation. There also will be 2 police officers from the Andhra cadre, Andhra Pradesh Police, also to be involved in this. 2 of them, 1 senior officer from the Food Safety Authority, the FSSI, which also will be involved in investigating and probing into whether adulterated ghee was indeed used in the making of this prasadam. It's certainly hurt the faith of scores of people who have immense faith and belief in the Tirupati Balaji. And we're looking at the Supreme Court saying that it's unfair for politics to be brought into this issue, asking for the SIT panel to go in depth into investigating what the truth is. Let me cut across to Kanu Sharda to give us a little more on what the Supreme Court said. Kanu, we know the opposition in Andhra Pradesh, the YSRCP has said this is vindication. It's nothing but a snub to the Andhra Pradesh government. They've dismantled and defanged the SIT that was set up by the state and now given a fresh order to come up with a new SIT team to carry out this investigation. Why don't you give us in detail what the court said?
Well, Nabila, the court has categorically, told the petitioners as well as the centre today that they don't want the politics to be played in the court. And that is why the first option was given to the centre to allow, to have a suggestion of the SIT members as if they wanted to. But the centre came out to the court and told the bench that they have no apprehensions on the state-appointed SIT. At that stage, the Supreme Court said, let an independent SIT be formulated. We will form a committee, and that is why, a committee was finally formed, which will have 2 CBI officials, 2 Andhra Pradesh police officials, and FCCI. The role of FCCI here is very, very important because the whole politics is, related to the point that the samples were sent to which lab and what not. That is why Supreme Court had interfered into it and said that FCCI, being the central food agency, will have a bigger role to play here, and FCCI will, test the sample of the adulterated laddu if that allegedly is or not. So that will be more clear when the FCCI report comes in, and the fresh SIT, which was constituted by the Supreme Court, will start probing the allegations. So the Supreme Court has categorically made it clear that it had no doubt on the present SIT of the Andhra Pradesh government, which was there, but only to save the sentiments of the crores and crores of people who have that kind of faith on the prasadam. It should not be defied. So that is why Supreme Court has said that let an independent SIT form, and keeping that in mind, the Supreme Court has formed that committee.
Kanu, it's also very interesting that there were multiple petitions asking for a judicial inquiry, that an inquiry should be set up with a retired judge overseeing this so that it's independent of any kind of politics and the state involvement wouldn't be there then, or the fear that the state could influence the probe results. But that wasn't ordered by court.
Yes, all the petitions which are, being heard by the Supreme Court today, the court, all the petitions had a prayer that a retired Supreme Court judge or a retired High Court judge should be there to probe. But the Supreme Court said the independent committee, which is now formed under the CBI, the director CBI will oversee the entire investigation, will be an independent one, because the court was of the view that the centre should have come forward and suggested some members for the SIT. But since the centre has not done that, Supreme Court had to again said that let the investigating agency do its work, and if needed, or if the petitioners wanted after the probe is completed by this SIT, they can again approach the top court and ask for the probe by a retired judge also. Supreme Court has just formed the committee today just to pacify the political game that is going on between the present CM and the former CM, and just appointed the independent committee to ascertain certain facts, because they have not only involved CBI, which is a central agency, but also involved the state government officials, so that a trust is maintained by both the political sides and also the
But
SCCI.
what happens to that SIT that was set up by the state government that probed this issue for weeks together, filed an interim report already? All that effort, does it go down the drain, or is a interim report handed over to the new SIT? Any word on how soon this new SIT will be formed?
Though, Nabila, that there is no clarity whether the interim report which is there already by the SIT will be handed over to the new SIT or not. It is not very clear in the order. But yes, of course, the CBI and the state government officials can always seek the assistance of the already SIT which is there at the state level. They can always do so. But as far as the timeline of the committee is concerned, it is still not clear whether, because the formation of the committee depends on the CBI director, because the CBI director will have to nominate 2 officers. Then onus comes on to the Andhra Pradesh police officials, who will have to nominate 2 police officials to nominate, and the SCCI. So until that exercise gets completed, we don't know exactly what will be the timeline, because the order is silent about it.
All right, so we're expecting this to come through as soon as possible, because we're looking at a lab report that was done nearly 2 months ago, the findings of which were released only now. Now, how will the SIT carry forward with this investigation, considering these laddus allegedly made with adulterated ghee was at least a 3-month-old affair? And nearly 8 trucks of ghee that came in from AR Dairy. That's what the allegations were. That sample was taken and sent to the lab, and that turned out to be substandard, and it was adulterated. And that report came out only now, creating such a huge controversy, and also several questions being raised on why such a delay in revealing an information as important as this. Well, the Supreme Court, as it takes up the issue, has clearly noticed there's politics being played around this issue, asking for politicians, political parties across the board to keep politics aside and probe this matter with good faith, because it involves the religion, the faith of scores of people in the Tirupati Devasthanam. Kanu, thank you very much for joining us with those details. We have more updates coming in with the Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister Chandrababu Naidu now reaching Tirumala Tirupati Temple. Let's cut across to those live images coming in. Chandrababu Naidu, the Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister, on a day when the Supreme Court has ordered for a fresh SIT to be probing into this matter of adulteration into Tirupati Laddus, he reaches the Tirumala Tirupati Temple today. These are the visuals there we're bringing for you live with his family. Chandrababu Naidu attending the Brahmotsavam at Tirumala Tirupati Temple. The Chief Minister, Chandrababu Naidu, to participate in an annual mega festival, will be offering Pattu Vastras on behalf of the Andhra Pradesh government. Of course, this comes right on the heels of the massive controversy, speaking of substandard quality of ghee that was used to make Tirupati Laddus, which is the most auspicious holy offering, the prasadam that's given to scores of devotees there. The allegation of adulterated ghee, which may have had animal fat, that's used to make that prasadam. This visit here of Chandrababu Naidu comes right in the back of this controversy, which is why it's all the more significant. They've carried out a whole purification process at the Tirupati temple. The last few weeks have been hectic for the priests at the Tirupati temple as well, where they've done extensive homas and pujas to purify the entire temple premises and ensure that quality is brought back, and it's supervised extensively. Chandrababu Naidu really taking it upon himself, the Andhra Pradesh government at this point, promising to the scores of devotees, people who have faith in the temple, that the situation is under control, and he's ensuring a hawk's eye check there, which is strict and will ensure no loopholes going forward. Let me cut across to Apurva joining us for more on that. Apurva, while all this controversy around the Tirupati Laddus has kicked off, you're looking at Chandrababu Naidu, the Chief Minister, in a first, arriving at the temple now. He's going to be part of a massive festival. if you could give us the significance of this annual mega festival that he's going to be part of, which he's kicking off. Please take us through.
Well, Nabila, this is the Brahmotsavam celebrations that are underway at Tirumala every year. This is a tradition and a celebration rather, wherein all these 9 days of the Brahmotsavam, there are various rathas, chariots that which will take procession of Lord Venkateshwara, the deity here at Tirumala. Not only that, there will all be, cultural activities that take place as a part of, flagging off these celebrations there. Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister Nara Chandrababu Naidu has now arrived with his family today, where not only will he go ahead and offer the Pattu Vastram, which is the silk robes for the Lord, the deity there, but this is customary that every year the Chief Minister, as a first citizen of the state, from the state government, should offer a kind of Kanakar, an offering to the Lord there in the terms of silk robes, and that's what we are, it's called as a Pattu Vastram ceremony that is going to take place, and that's what Chandrababu Naidu and his family will arrive here. They will go ahead and offer to the Lord, following which, this Brahmotsavam that starts from today will see the entire Tirumala that is being lit up in colors and celebration. Has
there been any hesitation from devotees to be participating post the Tirupati Laddu controversy? Has it really dampened the spirits of people who have immense faith in the temple?
Not really, because, this time the Tirumala Tirupati Devasthanam is, expecting about 3 lakh devotees just on one day, which is the Garuda Vahanam day. That is one of the most iconic and important days of the Brahmotsavam. And, they're roughly expecting around 3 lakh devotees to be over here. In fact, the entire Brahmotsavam is a kind of a celebration where devotees from across the world arrive here for partaking in these celebrations, as, the Ratha chariots are being taken for proceedings in and around Tirumala. It's a kind of celebration where a lot of people, devotees from far and wide, reach here and they get to be part of the celebrations there. The Garuda Vahanam, which happens on the 5th day of Brahmotsavam, that's when, the TTD is also expecting, a much footfall, roughly over 3 lakh devotees expected here. Meanwhile, there's a lot of security heightened. There's a lot of steps that are being taken, food that is being prepared, Annaprasadam, there is water and sanitation measures that is being taken, safety and CCTV cameras have been set. The entire Tirumala is decked up for tagging off this celebration, which is Brahmotsavam, which now Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister Nara Chandrababu Naidu and his family will arrive here to offer the first Kanakar, that is the Pattu Vastram, for the deity.
Thanks very much, Apurva, for joining us on that. All right, now let me cut across to all that controversy currently happening in Telangana with Minister Konda Surekha triggering a big storm after dragging the personal life of actors Naga Chaitanya and Samantha into political discourse. Now, with her remarks against the actors, she was forced to apologize after all that pressure that came in from Tollywood insiders and biggies. Just a day after apologizing, the Mantri now has repeated her statement again, reiterating and claiming that she only spoke the truth. She says, we still don't know why Naga Chaitanya and Samantha had a divorce. I know the truth and I'm only speaking the truth. And that KTR will really face consequences for it. These are words she said, yet again repeating this, while we know that KTR has filed a defamation against her. We know Nagarjuna, popular actor, has also filed a defamation against her for defaming his family and speaking about their personal life in public in such a fashion, calling it absolutely false and baseless. Meanwhile, you also have Modi Mantri, Union Minister Ashwini Vaishnav, who's waded into this row, claiming that the Congress's anti-women mindset is out and exposed, questioning Rahul Gandhi's silence on the issue. The actor Ram Charan Teja also wading into this, joining the chorus against the Telangana minister, calling her remarks as baseless and shocking. Megastar Nagarjuna, like I mentioned, has now taken this legal route in crores of defamation that he's asked in compensation for the words that she said, calling it absolute lies and that it damages immensely his family's reputation.
పోనీ సరే నేను చెప్పింది తప్పే. మరి ఇప్పటి వరకు నాగ చైతన్యకి సమంతకి ఎందుకు విడాకులైనవి అన్న విషయం ప్రపంచానికి తెలుసా? తెలియదు కదా. ఏమన్నా నాగార్జున సైడ్ నుంచి ఫ్యామిలీ నుంచి ఏమన్నా చెప్పారా? ఆ అమ్మాయి చెప్పుకోలేదు కదా ఈ విషయం. ఆ అమ్మాయి చెప్పుకుంటుందా? చెప్పుకోలేదు. మాకు ఇంటర్నల్ గా తెలిసిన సమాచారం ఇండస్ట్రీ నుంచి. ఈ రోజు నాకు కోపం వచ్చింది, మాట్లాడాల్సి వచ్చింది, మాట్లాడితే నేను వాస్తవాలు మాట్లాడతాను. మీకు తెలుసు నాకు ఏదున్నా కూడా దాపరిక ఉండదు, మాట్లాడతాను. ఇక ముందు కూడా మాట్లాడతాను. కేటీఆర్ ఇదే చెప్తా ఉన్నా, ఈ రోజు నుంచి నువ్వు జిల్లాలలో తిరగవు, నువ్వు హైదరాబాద్ లో తిరగవు, నువ్వు ఇంట్లో నుంచి బయటికి రావు.
భారతీయ జనతా పార్టీ demands a thorough apology from Konda Sureka, being a minister, being in the government, being a public representative, giving this kind of bites which has been degrading the image of a particular person.
My colleague minister, she has already expressed her concern, and also she has expressed if somebody is hurt by our sentiment, by a statement, she would retract back.
Let me cut across to our correspondent joining us live from Hyderabad, Abdul Bashir, for more on that. Abdul Bashir, Nagarjuna, the actor, has filed a defamation suit asking for 100 crores in damage. That's the speculation. Why don't you confirm to us this legal route that Nagarjuna has taken, maybe in a first, that Tollywood has taken a minister head-on? And we hear Konda Sureka yet again repeating what she said yesterday, really not apologetic at all.
Well, yes, Konda Sureka, after a controversial statement that she has given against the couple, the former couple, Naga Chaitanya and Samantha, now she has yesterday given a clarification stating that she was not wrong in her statements. Have you ever heard Nagarjuna and family or Samantha talking about it? This is what she has got from the insider of the film industry, and that is what she is meant. And she is, and that is the truth, is what she said. Now, after these statements are out, Konda Sureka seemed to be stern on her statement. However, she has retracted the comments she had made earlier, initially against the couple, alleging that KTR had called Samantha, to which Samantha had refused, and the divorce had taken place between the former couple. Now, what we see is that KTR had sent a legal notice to Konda Sureka, and later, Nagarjuna has also filed a petition in the Nampally court, where he has, sought a defamation against Minister Konda Sureka under the Section 359 of BNS Act. Now, here, what we see is, what we are hearing is that another 100 crore defamation case is being filed by Nagarjuna. However, no confirmation from his side as of now. But Nagarjuna is going very, all guns blazing against the minister.
He is aggressive about this. At the end of it, it's a family reputation. We know the family holds strong ties and roots within Telangana and Andhra Pradesh. They're well established in the film industry, and we know that they have a lot of roots even in politics, for that matter. So they know what it means to be in politics, and they want it to be kept separate. They don't want their personal life to be brought to public. And this is what Sureka says, insisting that she's speaking the truth, further hurting the sentiments and emotions of the family there.
Well, yes, now Konda Sureka is stern on her statement that she has given. What we see is that Nagarjuna had initiated an action, and the court is yet to, file a case against the minister, Konda Sureka, and the petition has been filed by Nagarjuna. Well, Nagarjuna is, the whole family is into film industry. Not only into film industry, they are also, have good links with the politicians as well. So the family, which has a good Telugu following, or we can say in both the states, they have a lot of fan following here. We have seen that how fans have burned the effigy.
And despite all of that, has Revanth Reddy not commented? Has he refused to comment? Has Revanth Reddy refused to comment on the matter?
Well, Revanth Reddy has not commented on this particular statement given by Konda Sureka. However, the other ministers have cleared their stand that the minister has, Konda Sureka had retracted her comments for hurting the sentiments of the fans and people. And also the PCC chief had, Mahesh Kumar Gaud, has said that the minister had retracted her statements or comments.
All right.
But
Well,
what we
clearly
see is
not
that
retracted
yesterday
because she
again-
reiterated her statement today, if anything. Abdul Bashir, if you saw. Thank you very much for joining us with those details. We're going to wait and watch to see if Revanth Reddy will respond to his cabinet minister's sexist rant, which has now united in an unprecedented scene the entire Tollywood industry. Some really disturbing news coming to light from Pune, Maharashtra. A 21-year-old girl has been gang raped in Pune. In fact, she was raped by 3 men who were posing as activists. The survivor was preparing for event management. She was along with her male friend. Her friend was an aspiring student. In fact, both of them were cornered by the 3 men while they were at the Bopdev Ghat. 3 miscreants who came by acting like they were activists, tried to threaten and bully the 2 friends, and eventually dragged the girl into a car, took her to a secluded location. While they tied the male friend, they tied his hands and legs with a belt and a shirt and raped the girl. The 21-year-old student was raped by 3 men and left to bleed right there. In fact, one of the accused has been arrested. Hunt is currently on for 2 more. We hear that one accused also stole a silver ring from the survivor's hand. That was the only thing that was taken from them. Clearly, these men came with an intention. They tried to bully the 2 and eventually gang raped the girl while tying the male friend to a tree close by. They used a belt and a shirt to tie his hands and legs while they continued to rape the young 21-year-old girl. Really disturbing news that's coming in. Let me quickly cut across to the cop who's reacted, the Joint Commissioner who's spoken on this case. Let's listen in.
बोपदेव घाट में एक लड़की पे अति प्रसंग का जो है सो इंसिडेंट रिपोर्ट हुआ है। इसमें जो प्राथमिक इंफॉर्मेशन मिली है उसके हिसाब से लड़की अपने फ्रेंड के साथ बोपदेव घाट में गई थी। ये लोग लगभग रात को 11 बजे वहाँ पे गए थे और 11 बजे के बाद जो है सो रात को 12 बजे के आसपास 3 अननोन पर्सन ने जो है सो इनको वहाँ पे पकड़ा है और लड़की के साथ अति प्रसंग किया है। और जैसे ही घटना की जानकारी मिली है तो इमीडिएटली इस केस को डिटेक्ट करने के लिए 10 जो है सो क्राइम ब्रांच और डीबी की टीम लगाई गई है।
Let me cut to our correspondent Omkar Vavle joining us for more on that. Omkar, we know politics has already erupted around this case with Sharad Pawar demanding a thorough investigation into this gang rape case of a 21-year-old student, a girl who was preparing for her event management, the boy, her friend who was assaulted, who was along with her. He was preparing for his CA examinations. 2 aspiring students who were cornered by 3 men, acted like activists, tried to school them and eventually kidnapped that girl in a car, and we believe she was gang raped. Why don't you take us through the sequence of events? How far has the police reached in investigation? 2 of the culprits are still on the run.
Well, Nabila, even after 14 hours of the total incident, even search operation is now underway. So Pune police has formed almost 14 to 15 teams which are conducting search operations in different locations, like apart from the city, where one team is headed towards Satara, Indapur, and also crime branch of rural police is also still conducting the operation. They're looking for the victims. So since the morning, after this incident came into the light, police are there are some people are being interrogated. Suspects are even there. So 3 out of 3 accused, they are still on the run. Police are trying to trace them. One of them was interrogated. He's still being interrogated, but still it's a suspicion. So it's not clear that whether he's accused or not.
The one man who's been arrested is just a suspect.
Underway, but it's shocking.
The 3 main accused are still on the run.
Exactly, not arrested, detained, not arrested. Exactly. So 3 are on the run, and one of them is being interrogated by the police. So still it's a suspicion. It's not a clear that police are not giving any clear indications that one is a clear accused in this rape case. So the main issue is, even after 14 hours, there is no clear inputs are getting by the police. They are not getting any specific leads in this whole investigation. Just because the location was a remote location from the Pune, it is away from the main city, and where the incident took place, it is, we can say, no people come in their hill, total hill area is there. So that is why in the remote location, police are not getting any trespasses, neither they are getting any footprints over there. But forensic lab was there since the morning, even sniffing dogs were there. So still everything is underway.
A quick word on how the victim is doing, the survivor. We hear that she was injured, brutally bleeding, brutally beaten and injured. She was hospitalized, and so was her male friend who was assaulted. His legs and hands were tied. How are both of them doing?
The police has already recorded the statements of both the victims. But the thing is, 21 years old girl, when she went after all this process and after, we can say, is molestation and the rape, so now counselling is underway. Pune police and the counselling team of Sassoon Hospital already been there since the morning. They are trying to talk to her. Statement has been recorded, but now sketch of two victims is already, sketch of two accused is already published by the Pune police. They are still tracing them, but statement of victim's friend is still recording, because police are looking for more leads, like they are finding different kind of things right now. So teams are already there, and we can say the investigation is underway.
All right, let's hope this expedites. Thanks very much. Horrific news that's coming in from Pune, with two aspiring young students who were assaulted, the girl gang raped. We're going to continue tracking these developments as and when the story develops. Now, a unique war of words has broken out over celebrations with the centre granting classical language status to Bengali. In a major decision, the Union Cabinet approved classical language status to Bengali along with 4 other languages. Prime Minister Modi lauded the Cabinet's decision, stating that Bengali literature has been inspiring for many years now, highlighting how during Durga Puja, the Cabinet has granted this status that brings in additional joy to the people of Bangla. Now, meanwhile, you have Mamata Banerjee, who's spoken on a stage saying that the well-researched and extensive report that was submitted to the government has finally been accepted, and she is absolutely happy and welcomes this move of giving classical status to Bangla. The BJP was quick to turn around, saying Mamata is trying to take credit here for the BJP's effort, saying that Mamata Banerjee's government had no role to play in pushing for classical status to the Bangla language. BJP slamming her for taking credit, highlighting how in as many years of Mamata Banerjee being the chief minister, she never tried to push for classical language status for Bengali. Saffron Party asking Mamata Banerjee to instead thank Prime Minister Modi for this.
5 भाषाओं को आज कैबिनेट ने शास्त्रीय भाषाओं का, क्लासिकल लैंग्वेज का ऐसा दर्जा प्रदान किया है। प्रधानमंत्री जी की अध्यक्षता में हुई कैबिनेट की बैठक में आज ये महत्वपूर्ण निर्णय हुआ, और इन क्षेत्रों में रहने वाले करोड़ों लोग, जो बांग्ला भाषी होंगे, जो मराठी भाषी होंगे, जो असमिया भाषी होंगे, बिहार और पूर्वांचल के क्षेत्र में पाली और प्राकृत में पढ़ाई करने वाले, पढ़ने लिखने वाले लोग होंगे, निश्चित रूप से आज अपने आप को गौरवान्वित महसूस कर रहे होंगे जब उनकी मातृभाषाओं को, उनकी बोली को आज शास्त्रीय भाषा का ऐसा दर्जा मिला है।
Credit goes to the state, because after so many years, Mamata Bandyopadhyay could only prove by proper documentation that Bengali language is a classical language, and the government of India, committee of that government of India, has compelled to recognize us.
All right, superstar Govinda today was discharged from the Mumbai hospital while he was seen all smiles this morning. He was out on a wheelchair, moved out with his family by his side and a cast on his leg. Govinda had accidentally shot himself on the leg with that revolver slipping off his hands, his licensed revolver. While he was cleaning, it slipped off his hand and accidentally fired a bullet into his left knee, right below the knee. the bullet pierced through, and that bullet was removed finally. He was admitted to the ICU, and days later he's now discharged. All smiles, blowing kisses at the fans who were there to show him their love and care. He thanks everyone for being there in this time for him. I'm going to leave you with this.
जब प्रेम मिला, जहाँ जहाँ पूजन हुए, दुआएं पड़ी गई, जहाँ जहाँ अरदास की गई, प्रेयर्स हुए, मैं सब लोगों का धन्यवाद देता हूँ, प्रेस का धन्यवाद देता हूँ और प्रशासन से जुड़े हुए पुलिस वर्ग का धन्यवाद देता हूँ। मैं राज्य से जुड़े हुए आदरणीय शिंदे साहब का धन्यवाद देता हूँ। हर वो व्यक्ति विशेष जितने भी हैं, जहाँ जहाँ बड़े बुजुर्ग, सब लोगों का, और खास तौर पे वो लोग जो मुझे बहुत प्रेम करते हैं। आप लोग का कृपा और आशीर्वाद की वजह से मैं सेफ हूँ। थैंक यू सो मच फॉर योर लव।